Welcome to episode 154 of the Carpe Fide podcast.
CFE.
And tonight,
CFP.
what?
Carpe Fide podcast.
CFP?
I don't know why it was an E. It should be a P.
Carpe Fide podcast. Tonight we'll be talking about the Acolyte Accolades.
No.
We always enjoy a little media every once in a while to pop on in. Do want to say we apologize. This was supposed to be our episode on talking about the voting issue for
Abolition and regulationism. We were going to try to record that podcast. And we did. We did record that podcast.
For an hour and a half. But we didn't really get a resolution. It was more like three guys having a fun time talking about stuff.
It was a great fireside discussion.
What it did is create an environment that will be great for us to have an actual interview out of with like real questions, contents, and actually getting somewhere.
Yes, an interview it was not. And we want to redo it so that it can be beneficial, more beneficial than me and Justin arguing while our guest tried to figure out what the heck was going on at the time.
Entertainment level wise.
It was on point. It was on point. But if we had a Patreon, like we could put it like on the Patreon, but we're not going to put it on our main channel, and I don't have any other channels. So,
would you guys contribute $3 a month to see this interview?
Let us know. Good cause.
Let us know. Yeah, so
we'll go to offset inflation.
What we'll do is we'll maybe even one day have like a studio where we have high quality video for everyone.
Oh man, that's asking a lot.
Well, hey, my dad always says,
hey,
asking is free.
Asking is free. I do also want to point out my hat. It has all 6 of my children on there. My mother got this for me for
what a beautiful Father's Day gift.
So, if you don't watch on YouTube, please subscribe and add yourself to the very small community there.
No, what you mean is rapidly growing.
Yes, we have increased by 2 subscribers in the past 7 days, and that is more.
You know what? We shouldn't complain. Hundreds of
people
in a long time. I mean, like honestly, we're just thankful you're listening. We're hopefully we're making resources that are helpful to you.
I'm not complaining. I'm just self-deprecating.
I'm whining like a little girl. Gee whiz. But still.
By the way, super cool things coming up soon.
Yeah, we're working. We're working behind the scenes on this thing that is not in any way our full-time anything. So, but we're trying to make it more accessible. We're going to try to broaden it out for more of you. We're going to really try to get the video up and running, moving. All because we want you guys to have a good resource for you in your churches and in your ministries and in your everyday conversations. So that's the goal.
Yep. You never know when COVID's coming back. So it's kind of like Jesus and the rapture. You just don't know. Unless they put out a book ahead of time again, because that would be really helpful. Because I think that we would
eyes peeled for Klaus Schwab's next release. That'll be that. Then you'll know.
Artificial intelligence in you, not in you. In you.
Do you mean end you? No,
in you.
He meant in.
COVID-19 vaccination and public policy.
Yeah, that's it.
This is why we don't have any subscribers on YouTube. I just realized that.
Why? Because nobody wants to see us talk?
No. Because we don't say anything that YouTube would like ever.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're definitely no, absolutely.
But I ain't censoring that.
Here's the reality: it's not going to change. So feel free to go subscribe now because
everybody just want us to be ourselves anyway. Like,
no, be your authentic self.
Why can't Christians just be themselves? Just like the Acolyte. Nice segue there.
Thank you. We're going to talk tonight about it's really not just about the Acolyte, but I really think it's about culture at large. I think it's about the fact that there is a swell of humanity, and then there's the elites, and then those are two different. They're just completely different.
Yes,
realms of living, and because the swell of humanity doesn't really have a voice in the elites' realm of pumping out content, the swell of humanity has an outlet, and because they have an outlet, we get to compare and contrast what humanity's thinking versus what the elites are thinking, and boy, are they different.
Seriously, the only two things. All right, the only three things. I'm making an impromptu list, so there could be more things.
Okay.
The three things that have restored my faith in culture over the past several years has been, one, the remnant of the Canadian church, which has been absolutely fantastic to witness and be a part of. Y'all going hard up there and don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yep.
Two would be Dusty Devers being elected to state legislature in Oklahoma. That was awesome. And then three, the Rotten Tomatoes reviews, critics versus audience. They are the only things keeping me going at this point. Because it's like, what show is good by how many points away the critic score is from the audience score. So it's like really easy to find like a good show because the critics will think it's horrible and the audience will think it's great.
Yeah, that's just kind of the reality where we're living. I think we have to be honest. That's where we're living, because we're getting honestly, we're going to go over tonight just what the elites in culture are saying about even the review. Like, it's the review system is the problem. The audience is the problem. It has nothing to do with the messaging coming directly from the mouths of
overt messaging,
the mouths of the producer and the actors. I mean, the guy writing this doesn't know he doesn't know that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. Like, I literally watched him, like, and he was trying to justify, like, well, what's really bad? What's bad? I mean, like, is Darth Vader bad? Right? Like,
yes,
Darth Vader bad? But like,
until he repents of his sins.
Right, but then he's like,
then he falls down that hole.
But then he was like, well, what about when Anakin blew up the Death Star? He said it just like that, and everyone, like, any Star Wars fans, like, well, since Anakin is Darth Vader and Darth Vader didn't blow up the Death Star,
Anakin
you don't
was
know
on
what you're
the Death
talking
Star.
about.
He was on the Death Star being blown up twice.
But maybe you should. Neither time, by the way, we're by Anakin. Maybe you could take a second and learn, like, the name of the most important character in the canon of Star Wars, and that would be Luke Skywalker.
Oh my gosh.
You just mentioned Darth Vader twice. He's Anakin Skywalker, you moron. Anyway,
they're the same person.
I'm just saying.
He's just wearing a suit.
But these are the people who are in charge of producing it, so you can understand why. Like, this is what I mean. We're about to talk about the fact that the elites are pointing at the audience and they're saying misogynist, racist, homophobes. That's what they're doing. And the audience is pointing back and saying, the people making these movies barely know what Star Wars is. Like, they don't even know what Star Wars is.
Listen, these people want us to respect people's pronouns, but they can't even get the canon of the thing that they're writing properly. Like,
no. They couldn't be bothered to actually invest in, like, oh, hey, I'm supposed to, like, produce and write this. Maybe I should find out about the series. I mean,
like, a 5-minute recap video on YouTube would have sufficed for that basic level of knowledge.
Oh, I mean, no, 100%.
Oh, my word.
All right. Anyway, let's get in.
Like, is that the one where Captain Kirk was?
Is this where the Enterprise goes on a long voyage? And, like, the star date is a weird number.
A long, long voyage ago.
Is there a Klingon in the Star Wars?
Oh my gosh.
Jabba the Klingon.
Beam me
Anyway.
up, Mando.
All right, for all of you that this is getting lost on, we're just combining references from Star Trek and Star Wars. That's not the point of the show. If you missed those, it's okay. This will still be helpful for you to understand how we can compare and contrast culture right now. When you look on Rotten Tomatoes and you're trying to decide about whether you should watch The Acolyte, if you're like, I want to see what people think of The Acolyte, well, one, all you get's the aggregate score. I can't seem to get into the comments or the reviews of the audience score. Sometimes you can actually see the breakdown of like how many 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 star reviews. I don't even see that right now, and that's fine. You know what? They got to protect people. So, but the rating here's the ratings on the tomato meter. Now, the tomato is where critics. Whether that be like, it doesn't matter if you're a top critic or not, but if you're a confirmed critic of movies, one that critically analyzes movies,
like you're writing a report in a journal of some kind.
Yeah, like something like you got a press pass, or something, an early review, like that kind of person. It's got an 84% positive rating on its tomato meter. 84% is the tomato meter.
When you're like, oh, I should go watch this show.
Yeah, that comes in as an 80% fresh and versus 20% rotten. And so this is a 84% fresh tomato. That's like that's a pretty good score. I mean, there's nobody knocking an 84% out of 100.
I mean, it's better than I did in nursing school. So
yeah, it turns out to be like a 6.8 out of 10. So I mean, it's almost
get
7
degrees.
Yeah, no, this is better than that. It's a B.
Yeah, it's a B.
It's
a solid
yeah.
B. I mean, honestly, in today's grading rubric, it's probably an A. Let's be honest.
Yes. Probably is an A.
Let us know in the comments if your school would grade that an A.
Oh no,
I don't want to know.
And then you're like, all right, that's that's the critics. What did people that watch the show, think about it? Now, I will say, in all fairness, you don't have to necessarily watch the show to leave a review. Here's the thing. Personally, I don't think that matters, right?
Well, I mean, you don't even have to know about Star Wars to write the show. So,
yeah, if the people, that's a perfectly fair point. If the writers that you don't have to watch it to review it, regardless, the audience score. All right, now on Rotten Tomatoes, that is denoted by a bucket of popcorn. So it goes from like a standing full bucket of popcorn, and that's a great score. It'd be like a 90% score, maybe even 80% score, given the grading system. So standing full bucket of popcorn that says audiences love it. And then the crappier the score gets, the less popcorn, then the popcorn's tipped over, and then there's less popcorn even falling out of the tipped over popcorn. It's just like worse and worse. And so when you look at the audience score for Acolyte, you see a tipped over popcorn thing that says 14%. That is a 14% positive review rate on the Acolyte. And I did find a Forbes article that actually broke that down. Now it's gone up a little bit. When Forbes did this, no, it's gone down a little bit. When Forbes did this, it was a 15% audience score, not a 14%. So it's gotten worse. But when they broke it down, according to IMDb's review, it's getting a 54.6% 1-star review by reviewers. So 54.6% of people that are giving that audience score are giving it a 1 star. One star. This is out of 10. Okay. So we'll just go from 4 down. That is a total of 54, 64, 71. That is a 75% score of 4 stars or less out of 10. To be clear,
10.
Out of 10, it is a 78% of 5 or less. Now, if you're doing the math, that means over 5 is only coming in at 2, 4. I just said what, 80. So 78%, 75, 78%. So you're looking at 22%. 22% is 5 or above, or is above 5. So only 22% is giving it 6 to 10 stars. That is not great. That is it's really
that's an F. That's definitely an F.
Yeah, a 14% score is where people are like, I wouldn't watch this if they strapped me to a chair and taped my eyes open like I was being re-educated, like the Uyghurs in China. That's what people are saying. I would literally remove my eyeballs. That's what 14% says. Yeah, I did it, China. Come at me.
That's an I wouldn't put this on to watch in the background type score.
Yes. Yep. This is like this isn't even playing. This isn't even accidentally playing when you fall asleep. Like if you 14% is it's so bad that if you fell asleep watching TV and the Acolyte came on, it would startle you awake to let you know to turn off the show.
Yeah, like if your kid accidentally turns it on, you're literally like, oh, can we watch this? We're like, no, you can't. Just turn it off.
No, it's for your own good,
Princess
Johnny.
Bride instead.
It's for your own good. No, that's just the scoring. That's just, and we use Rotten Tomatoes as a nice kind of metric. And that breakdown coming from IMDb on Acolyte is also really helpful. It's just really helpful for us to know, because that means it's bad. Yeah, it's real bad. It's not good.
Yeah, just to compare, like The Mandalorian, is a much better Star Wars show for sure, and that one's got a 78% positive audience rating. That's over 4 seasons, and the critics actually like that one too, which is surprising because it is a strong male lead. So,
well, they have to like it. It's the Star Wars franchise. You know, the critics are almost bound by critic law to like it. What's the point of talking about this? Like, what does this matter? It matters because it has been an overt assault on every doctrine. At least it's being taken as an overt assault on every doctrine that secular progressivism holds dear for this score to exist as a review. And so if you Google Acolyte reviews bomb, like, or Acolyte bombs, just Googling it, what you will find is article after article. By the way, stop using Google. Just, I mean, as a aside. But nonetheless, you will find story after story, headline after headline after headline, calling out the fan base of Star Wars as racist, sexist, homophobic, evil, angry men predominantly. Article after article after article is assaulting the fans that are putting these reviews up, which tells you right there that the fans are touching a chord that is a no-no. You can't touch it in the progressive world. Like, don't do it. And that's the thing that matters. That's the real story. The real story is the hatred of the fans that are leaving these reviews.
Mm-hmm. The bigotry.
The sheer bigotry.
The cowardice.
And you don't have to... Cowardly. Yeah, that's true. They're cowards. They're just putting their reviews up.
Because the writers are so brave. They're so strong. They're so open and transparent.
Yeah. It's hard.
Literally, almost literally trans parents, but they're more like lesbians. So
it's really hard to put into words how clearly this is to see. Like, it's hard. It's like I can't find a way to, like, all right, from The Root, here is this article. This was published 9 hours ago. As of the time of this recording. So we are recording this Friday episode on a Tuesday night. 9 hours ago, this was posted, and it says this from theroot.com. Racists are review bombing black-led Star Wars series The Acolyte despite high ratings from real critics. Once again, subtitle, Once again, Star Wars fans show their true colors when a person of color or woman gets to shine in a galaxy far, far away. You can't make it up. Like, why don't you just say the quiet part out loud, right? Here's from Forbes, the headline. The Acolyte's 15% audience score is embarrassing for the audience scorers.
I'm sure they feel embarrassed.
Yeah, the audience or members writing the reviews should be embarrassed. Yeah, I mean, it's just like headline after headline of this. Like, as an aside, one thing you will find out is that there was a previous like take on the Acolyte, and it's also getting negative reviews because when you search the Acolyte, I mean, like, it looks like Star Wars. You click on it, you leave your review. Turns out so its audience score started dropping, which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah, but only a few points. I mean, like,
yeah,
I mean, it's a bigger deal. I mean, it started at 42%. I mean, which is not a great, and it went down
to like 30, 34, 30, 33%. Like, it didn't go down a ton. It's because most people are like, "Oh wait, this isn't the right one. I'm not leaving a review on this." Nonetheless, what this reveals is the battle that is waged between the people that are in charge of telling you what is and isn't good and right, versus the people which are trying to say this is a hot garbage dumpster fire. Like, this is trash. I love.
Just had to get that Bane reference in there. Another actual pretty good entertaining movie.
Oh yes,
it would be very painful for you.
I was born in the darkness. You merely adopted it. All right, moving forward.
I mean, all right, I won't correct that line. That's fine.
You can correct it. It's fine. I'm not perfect at it. All I know is that we have their armory and we will need it.
Yes, your precious armory. We will need it.
Yep, that's what I know, and that's the truth. This all kind of came to it came to culmination when the producer and the actors were going around and trying to build up the woke agenda behind the Acolyte. Now, if some of you have seen a clip of the lead actress talking about how she wants to make white people cry, that was not in reference to Star Wars. However, it does absolutely portray the attitude of this woman nonetheless. So I do want to say that right off the top. If you saw that going around on like Twitter or X, sorry, Elon, X, or any other media source, that was actually about a movie she did before, when she was talking about making white people cry, because white people are really evil at the end of the day. It's based solely on their skin tone, which I thought was racist, but I get very confused about racism anymore. It's very confusing.
We are fickle, stupid creatures.
This white people. Honestly, I don't care. Like,
I mean, being stupid's never affected you before. So
I mean, I'm stupid on a regular basis. Like, you're going to make a stupid comment about me being stupid. I mean, like, okay, I can handle it.
Sticks and stones, love. Sticks and stones.
That's right. You want to make a racist comment to me about me being white? I'm going to be like, oh, well, I am white, so okay.
Well, you know what I really think that the reviews mean from the fan base, especially a committed fan base like Star Wars. I mean, you took one of the world's most popular franchises and then did this to it. You know, I like what that means is like they don't.
This is just the tip. This is just the most recent tipping point in the Star Wars.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It all started with the Christmas special, and then it went downhill from there. Remember when Luke tossed the lightsaber just over the cliffside? Do you remember that? Because he was just a jerk. Yeah, I remember that.
It was a rough day.
It was a rough day. Just gotta chug some more blue milk. Fresh from the teat.
If only he'd done like the Ron Burgundy line after that, like, milk was a bad choice. Anyway,
but what it means is like they don't want we don't want this in Star Wars. We don't want this to be a part of Star Wars. You're ruining Star Wars, and for some blasted reason, as if like Disney's sales over the past few years and Pixar's sales and streaming licenses were any indication that people don't want this, they still make it. And I don't know why. I just saw a headline that the first episode of this was it? I'm never going to be able to find it again. But I think it was either the first episode or the series. Cost more money to make than the entire movie Godzilla -1, which got rave reviews and was actually a pretty fantastic film. Actually, you should go watch it. But I mean, like, they're spending millions and millions and millions of dollars to ruin people's childhoods, ruin any sort of, morality in Hollywood. Not that there was really much to begin with. And like, people just don't want this crap. And they're trying to tell them with their wallets, and they just aren't listening. Like, I definitely thought that, like, things would start to turn around before now. But I mean, like, even Pops was saying over the weekend, like, Memorial Day weekend at Disney was like empty, and it's usually one of their biggest days of the year. So I mean, they're taking hits. They're taking hits. They're taking L's, but nothing's changing. And I guess that's just what sin does to us. It just makes us blind and stupid. So. Yes.
So what we mean is this. Really, this is like the cultural point. The buzz about this show was that it was going to be starring gay leads, female leads, black leads.
Yay.
That it was so going to be really wokeifying the entire Star Wars universe. That was one of its goals. And you don't have to take my word for it. Actress Amandla. I knew I was going to do this wrong. Amandla. Thank you.
Amanda with an L.
Amandla. No, it's literally Amanda, but they put an L in before the last day. It's Amandla.
Right, that's what I said. Amanda with an L.
Yes. Taking the L. Amanda Stenberg then chimed in. All right, so here's what the question. The interviewer noted that these themes would be a talking point, while Headland seemed surprised because there's something they come naturally to her as being a gay person. Actress Amanda Stenberg then chimed in, because nerds are gay. The interviewer then tried to mention that some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by gay stuff. While Stenberg agreed, she said, well, that's true, but in my world, nerds are gay. At this point, the interviewer asked whether or not the LGBTQ themes were included to be a fun element. Headland seemed mixed on that aspect for the Acolyte, but does concur that she's into it being the gayest Star Wars. No, I don't think so, and yet people have told me it's the gayest Star Wars, and I'm frankly into it. End quote. How about more quotes. They started having fun discussions, what they feel were gay elements already included in the Star Wars universe. This included the franchise's costumes and characters like C-3PO and R2-D2. Obviously, they were gay. I think Star Wars is so gay already. I mean, have you seen the outfits? We'd be like, look how gay that is, and send each other reference photos, Stenberg said. Headland then mentioned C-3PO. Are you telling me with a straight face that C-3PO is straight? End quote. At that point, Headland shared her own quote unquote canon feelings about R2-D2. I think it's canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian. End quote.
Can I just
this is how you're trying to sell the show. You're selling the show this. What did you think was going to happen? Just her saying that is an assault. It's really a transphobic comment. Though you can't assume any genders upon those robots, and then to assume that they are both the same gender is absolutely arrogant. And then to assume that they, as the same gender, like each other and want to be amorous with each other is completely disgusting. How dare you transphobic? You see, and this is
they're asexual beings. They're not even. They're freaking robots, man. They're robots on
wheels. How are we to assume any gender upon poor R2-D2?
Like, oh, that's a male plane.
Like, what are we talking about? This is how bad the world's gotten. They are, and this was their tour. Like this was their tour to promote the show. When you're promoting the show inside of a woke agenda, you cannot possibly be surprised at a low audience score. And then you can't just blank. By the way, I may have reviewed like one thing once as an audience member of something on Rotten Tomatoes. I lost the words. But you know what they don't do? They don't ask you like, yes, are you a sexist? Are you a cisgendered white male? Like, those aren't questions that come up in the review process. But when we get to talking about these articles, like, all they assume is that evil, cisgendered white males are going around trying to destroy Star Wars franchises. It couldn't be that the people that are watching Star Wars, that have watched Star Wars, right, for the past 60 years, right, want the show to be a quality show that encapsulates the story of Star Wars. That couldn't be it.
No, surely not.
No, it's because they're racist, sexist, homophobic bigots. That's got to be the answer.
Because nerds are gay.
In her world,
these straight people ruin everything.
It's like there's no, and it's so hard for me to describe. Only in a fictional world would this be where we live right now. Like only in the movies we have processed it getting this stupid.
I would like to go to the multiverse America where like we've somehow revived George Washington and he has led a second revolution and just living victoriously as Christian nationalists, all of us. Oh, all right.
It's got.
I was about to say it's got to exist somewhere, but actually it doesn't. It goes against my theological beliefs, but all of science. So
there's a great man. Not all of science. A lot of people have done a lot of mushrooms and decided there's a lot.
Well, the real scientists, you know.
Hey, now talk. You go to me a capital S in science. This is the science.
My name is Dr. Fauci, and I am the science. I am soon to be in jail, but that is okay. I will do it for my beliefs. I do not know where the 6-foot ban came from. I do not know. Did you see that? Did you see that he said that?
No.
Yeah, dude. He's been testifying recently, and he said he has no freaking clue where the 6-foot ban came from. I don't know who said that. You know that.
What 6-foot man? What am I missing?
6 foot. Oh, I'm sorry. The social distancing. I said ban. It's not really ban. It's a 6-foot social distancing.
Got it. Yeah. No, we know where that came from. A small child decided that was a good idea. Of course, he doesn't know because what does he know exactly? Why were we letting him make decisions? He doesn't know anything. All right. Let's get berated by cultural elites that write articles about people that have opinions about shows, because that's what we're talking about here. Audiences had opinions about a show, therefore they are evil and probably should be shot. This is continuing in the Root article. I just found the Root article to be so arrogant. Racists are reviewing bombing. Try again, Justin. Bombing Black-led Star Wars series, The Acolyte, despite high ratings from real critics. I just love that. I love how arrogant. Once again, Star Wars fans show their true colors when a person of color or woman gets to shine in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I really liked the Rebels, the animated series. Enjoyed
Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, Star Wars Rebels.
Until the transgender stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Until it got crazy again. But that's what they do. They ruin all these shows. I actually, just in all fairness, I didn't watch beyond that. So like, I didn't get near the transgender stuff. That was in later episodes.
Well,
I didn't.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, well, is there a different transgender thing than this?
No.
Oh, are you going to ruin the beginning part of the show for me now?
Nope, never watched it. All I just know is that there's transgender stuff in it now.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, recently. Sorry, if it's currently transgender, don't watch it. Go back to watch the first 3 seasons and call it a day. Just pack it in. Just pack it in.
As with almost any show nowadays.
Yes, as with any show. In this case, Acolyte gets to it in episode 3. So, because it's the gayest Wars. That's not my words. Not my words. Not my words. Actors from the show. Not my words. All right. I really enjoyed that. You know what? Females all up in that series. Didn't care once. One of them was green and had those 2 dongly things from her head. I didn't think twice. Oh gosh, you know what I mean? Those weird those tube socks coming off their heads. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I never thought oh gosh, I should hate this show because one of the main characters in this cartoon's a green-headed tube sock wearing chick. Or also one of them was also a Mandalorian chick, right? I didn't watch The Mandalorian and go, oh man, they get all their armor shaped from some woman. Oh, that's horrible. No one's doing that. No, there's no one doing that. No one cares that the lead actress is black or a woman. Honestly, no one cares that the lead actress is a lesbian. I didn't even know she was a lesbian. You know who I found out? She told me. I didn't know. I didn't even need to know. It wasn't.
You mean you haven't set up cameras in her penthouse?
It was not essential to anything of my life. Anyway, I love the way this article starts. After already berating the audience in the title and subtitle, the first sentence is this: "The Star Wars fandom continues to embarrass itself." That's literally the first sentence. The first sentence is the fandom of Star Wars. An embarrassment, nay, a pox, nay, a horrible blight upon our beautiful world. What are they talking about? Oh my gosh. The latest series in the franchise, The Acolyte, has fallen victim to yet another review bombing campaign from the audience. An unfortunate practice that's often rooted in racism and misogyny. It's always racism and misogyny. That's why, yes, you should continue to make crap. You should take this away and continue to make garbage. It's absolutely what you should do. It goes on to say how it's amazing. It earned glowing reviews from the critics, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has it's been a huge help to Disney Plus. Spoiler alert. It's huge boost. Still got less views, less streams than Ahsoka did, which was the previous Star Wars series that you didn't watch. Sorry, don't mean to spoil it. It got less views than that, but it's a huge boon to Disney. Does Disney not know why yet? It's because people aren't watching Disney. If it wasn't for essentially Bluey right now, Disney could literally shrivel up into a hole and no one would know. Who cares?
No one would know.
No one cares. Nope. No one even, and God forbid if they turn Bluey gay, I gotta tell you right now, gone.
I am marching in the Capitol if they turn Bluey gay.
Seriously,
I will march in the Capitol for Bluey. I will.
Sorry, it's neither here nor there. Don't get us started on our Bluey fandom. By the way, Matt Walsh, idiot. He's a moron. Talking about crying at Bluey is a problem.
He was
no
wrong.
soul. No soul.
He was wrong.
What do you expect? What do you expect?
I'm a Catholic. I don't know.
Just repent, Matt. Just repent. Repentance is one of the chief practices a Christian can
stop
employ.
praying to Mary, start praying to Jesus, and start watching Bluey. That's the thing.
Yeah. Maybe that would give you your religion heart instead of callous. Anyway, it's gonna go off. I don't know why. Anyway, they go on in this article to go from the glowing reviews that real critics have given it to the shocking 15% audience score. Dun dun dun. They go on to talk about how this is all a ploy. This is dedicated audiences feel a right to these stories. And unfortunately, sectors of these fandoms have some serious racial, misogynistic, and often homophobic biases they operate with when engaging in this content. Yeah, it's not because it's ruining Star Wars. It's because you, as a person watching and reviewing are a racist, misogynistic, homophobic bigot.
Which is it's the new line, right? I mean, we've talked ad nauseum about Marxism, critical theory, all of these things, and it all ties in together, because that's exactly what the Democrats say about people who voted for Trump, right? The people who voted for Trump are racist, misogynistic degenerates, right? I mean, Hillary Clinton literally said as much during that campaign season. Like, literally. I mean, it was a dumb thing to say when you're trying to get votes, but like, these people, in terms of the robes of society, in entertainment and politics, they are saying literally verbatim the same things about people they don't like. And like, the real takeaway is, first off, go back and listen to our culture war series if you really want to know how to fight the culture war. But like, is to just literally never give up, like never to let them stop you from review bombing trash, and never let them shut you up, because that's what they want to do. They want to shut you up. They want to drive you into a hole so that, your friends at work who only read the headlines, think that, if you say anything negative about the Acolyte, you're a racist, misogynistic homophobe. But you need to prove them wrong, one, by your actions in your relationship and your profession of faith, but by continuing to make your voices heard. Like, they want silence. They want silence. So just don't be silent. And that's where you have to seize the faith.
Amen. They will be taking, I mean, honestly, all of the opportunities you have to voice your opinions with likes, dislikes, comments, reviews, it's all going to go away. Votes. Yeah, no, it's all going to go away. All of it. Once they realize they are losing a grip on controlling the population, it'll just be gone.
Yeah, remember when YouTube removed their dislike counter from their videos?
Sure do.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yes, I do. The Root goes on to quote Amanda Stenberg, who opened up about some of this when speaking to GQ UK earlier this month. She said, quote, "There's a specific kind of Star Wars fan that's very vocal on the internet. They've called our show the Wokalite a fair amount," which I'm like, okay, what about it? What about it is you have a 14% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
What she doesn't understand is that the people that will make her money are the thing that's reviewing her show negatively. Like, congratulations, you'll be out of a job because the people don't want to watch your trash.
Like, what? You won't be out of a job. They'll continue to make horrible shows like this until Disney is indeed bankrupt. It's a dying.
Then she'll be out of a job.
Just dying
then
slowly.
She'll be begging Gina Carano for a shot at something, and Gina will be like, "Sorry."
Yes, that is correct.
No hard feelings, but yes, hard feelings. Sorry.
Yeah, this is where we're at, though. This level of people that are over you, deciding what you should think, what you should be allowed to say or not say, what your opinion should or shouldn't be. And if you don't have the right opinion, right, we are just trapped in 1984. It's like it's like this weird amalgamation of all of the like post-apocalyptic story veins that come together in the current time frame we're living in, right? Like the review should be whatever the party says it is. That's what the review is, right? Your opinion on the Acolyte is whatever the party says your opinion is on the Acolyte, right? Your view of R2D2 as a lesbian is whatever the party says it is. Like, that's what we're coming to, and that is specifically why Jesse's call to not shut your mouths, but be more vocal and put your money literally where it should go, is so important. It's so important at this time. Like, it's very much something that continues to grow. Like, this is not a small. It's no small thing. This is a big thing. This is a growing movement where people are like, I just don't want to do it. And this is not like this is like Christians. Like, this is the nerds. Like, this is nerd world. They're just done. Like, we're all done with stupid. Like, sometimes
she's like, nerds are. She's like, nerds are gay, but the nerds are the reviewers. The nerds aren't the critics, you moron. No, the critics are paid to write good reviews.
The nerds are only the good reviews. All the other 60% are the racist bigot Christians. Probably they're probably Christians at the end of the day. That's it, because they're racist bigots, right?
They're like, let me take time from providing for my family, raising children, and going to church to review on the Acolyte. Yeah, that's right. I'm sure that's what they're doing. Yeah, it's definitely not the people behind a computer screen for 95% of their lives doing that. Definitely not.
Yep. Just all cards on the table. I have not reviewed the Acolyte, and we should give Jesse a gold star. He actually has sat through the beginning of this series. Just for us, because he loves us that much.
Yes, it's called Oppo Research, and it is important.
I particularly love the article here by Yahoo. So if you are watching the Acolyte and you're enjoying it, that's fine. If you haven't gotten to episode 3, we're not very far into this series yet. So if you haven't gotten episode 3 yet, probably a good time to just say, you know what, this was entertaining. I'm done. Because Yahoo's article says the Acolyte fulfills its promise on being the gayest Star Wars has ever been. The Disney subtitle, the Disney Plus series shows that the galaxy far, far away is slowly coming closer to representing our own.
Our own.
Yes, our galaxy where everyone's gay.
The Wookiees? Whose are the Wookiees?
Well, all the Wookiees.
Don't answer that question. We will.
Can you identify? You can't even tell if the Wookiees are men or women, so they could all just be gay Wookiees, right?
No, they have Wookiee children. Gay things don't have children like that.
Maybe they reproduce asexually. Maybe their furs release spores. I've gotten gone to a weird place.
It's not like Avatar. Like it's a whole different sci-fi universe.
All right. Here in this article by Yahoo.com, it says this: 2 episodes in, all this much welcomed queer. Yes, all the I'm giving it dramatic reading effect because it's just an article about stupidness. So let me just give it my own effect. Leave me alone. 2 episodes in, all this much welcomed queer talent didn't translate to an actual queer story on screen. That is, aside from a brief reference to the fact that that OSHA and May, am I saying that right? OSHA?
Yeah, like the OSHA. Occupational Safety Hazard Association or whatever it is.
That's all about. OSHA and May were raised by 2 mothers. But with both of them long dead before the series had even started, this blip of queer representation barely registered. So imagine my surprise when Mother Anastasia and Mother when Mother Anastasia and Mother Kirill suddenly showed up alive and well in an extended flashback installment 3 episodes in, and in Pride Month, no less.
So brave.
Excited.
So stunning. So brave.
So beautiful. It's so beautiful.
And in Pride Month, no less.
I felt like this sentence should have ended. So imagine my surprise when Mother Anastasia and Mother Kirill showed up in a convent in Russia, because that's how that sentence should end, right? Putting mother before those 2 names, they're just obviously nuns at a convent. That's all. I mean, I got nothing else. Nope, they're the mothers of the Acolyte. They're the Acolyte's mom. Isn't that amazing? She has 2 moms. And in Pride Month, no less. It's amazing. Well, this is where we live now. This is us. And this is where we live.
Unfortunately. But the great news is that unlike, things like the education sector and politics, you can live life completely unaffected by never giving Disney any money or never ever watching the show. The school boards and the politics are a little bit more real, I guess. Why are you holding your head? When it comes to,
I kept reading the article. I'm so sorry.
But yeah,
Here, I'll give you more of a laugh. The article continues on. Destiny takes us back in time to a sapphic paradise on Brendok, a planet where our two mothers, mother. That's such a dumb sentence. A planet where our two mothers mother, with nary a man in sight, together, because the two mothers are mothering. We're like smothering. Geez. Together, they have raised younger versions of May and Osha, the twins who gay non-binary actor Amanda Stenberg plays. Why? Why do we have to know? Plays in the present. The Acolyte doesn't make a big deal out of this reveal in the way Disney did with The Rise of Skywalker's kiss. And there's no judgy space slug on hand either. Instead, there is serenity to be found in this matriarchal lesbian coven of force-wielding space witches. I'm sorry. I'll read it again.
Great. So it's tied to the occult, is it?
Yeah. There is serenity to be found in this matriarchal lesbian coven of force-wielding space witches. Intrinsically queer by its very nature, this all-female community is free to love who they please and raise a family how they see fit. That is, until the Jedi appear. Because the Jedi and the Acolyte are like these evil space police fascists, I guess, is what they are. They come in and kill all the lesbians and ruin everything. Oh,
ruin everything. Down with the patriarchy.
That is until the Jedi appear. Like, what in the frick is
Didn't
wrong?
they know that Yoda was gay? I mean, come on.
I just want to point out
that's why he lived and died alone.
Just to be clear, this all-female community is free to love who they please and raise a family how they see fit for one generation, and then their community is dead. I don't know what we're talking about. What are we talking about here?
Out child bear the libs.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The force-wielding coven of space witches didn't last long. Like, that's all there is. That's all there is. That's this whole, the reality.
Boy, I wish they had some men to fight the bears off. Am I right? Like, what the heck?
Oh my gosh. With just 3 words, this well-meaning cis straight man tries to undo an entire society with his limited heteronormative views. That is an actual sentence.
It says that in the
because make no mistake, the Jedi don't approve of anything these women do, not because it's inherently evil or dangerous, but because it's not their way. In summary, this small battle of reviewing on Rotten Tomatoes points to a larger problem in the ethos of our fascist elite overlords. They can't handle when you have an opinion that is contrary to theirs. And unfortunately, dear Christian, all of the opinions in God's word are contrary to theirs.
Yes.
So the real takeaway here is stand firm, promote God's truth, which is the most loving thing you can do, and do it for his glory and the good of all people, knowing that the elite that controls society will hate you, prepare the next generation for an even stronger hate, and continue to push forward until the generation that follows is the one who is actually building a culture again. Amen.
Yeah, I mean that was very well said.
Yeah, that's the takeaway from reviewing the Star Wars Acolyte.
Oh my gosh. Do I have to keep watching it, or can I stop now?
Well, you didn't get to the 3rd episode yet, and I strongly pull that cord, buddy, and eject on out of the plane.
You know what? I kind of want to see it, and then just so I can laugh at it.
I almost got to do it, and I want to have this review from Yahoo up while I do it, so I can live these comments. Oh my gosh!
We need to make a shirt that says like patriarchal cisgender, whatever, and like wear that while we like do a live review and just laugh at it.
Oh my gosh, that would be a good YouTube episode. Anyway, nonetheless, I do hope that you can hear that truth underneath of this, because that is the reality. Something as silly as the Acolyte and what it's saying about culture can have a profound meaning when we understand that we can prepare well and push back rightly, knowing that the hate is coming, and preparing our children to stand even more firmly and boldly for the glorious gospel, setting an example, raising them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord, so that one day their children, their children's children, are building a culture on truth and love, not lies and this form of applauding what is unrighteous and evil. So that's the goal.
I was just going to say wickedness, but yes.
Yeah, amen. Wickedness.
Yes.
It's a great synonym for words that I may have said.
Yeah, no, I didn't know how strongly you were going to word it, but evil pretty much encapsulates it.
Yes. The gross unrighteousness. I don't know. Yeah.
So, like, is the series claiming that they are immaculately conceived, like Luke was, or like Anakin was, rather?
It's not. It hasn't yet.
Okay. Because
like formally, like it's not actually canon yet, but that is what is being implied, and so the Star Wars nerds are like, well, yeah, I got a problem.
Canon is whatever Amandla says it is, so
it's pretty much canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian. By the way, she doesn't sound like that at all. That was just me.
Yeah.
R2-D2 is a tiny roly astro droid.
Not Astra droid. Astro droid.
Astrid droid. He's a flower person. His pronouns are pollen and bloom. Oh my gosh, get me out. That's the end of our episode. I do hope that you can pick up on, in a fun way, some really deep undertones that are in our culture that we can highlight and move forward in the gospel truth. And that is our sincere hope, to have fun and also be able to stand firm and hold fast the faith. Or, as we try to say at the end of all of our episodes, perhaps you could indeed seize the faith.